So I always ask the light in my brother, does anybody say what I say behind the scenes? Like, in other words, you know how Trump and his vice president and all those people in government say how the United States is so beautiful? In other words, this is a typical shopping center in the ununited States. I mean, is there anything uglier than this in the world? And if you see Europe and like so many countries besides Europe, like they care about shit looks, but they don't spend all their money, billions of dollars, on guns and bombs and guns for their ego. They want their people to live in a pretty environment, so they're happy. So and then I also think um, about Trump wants the Nobel Prize, and he stands there in front of the world at the microphone like he's the great peacemaker. He just spent like how many billions of dollars on bombs and guns, blowing up. I heard 85% of the country. I don't know the truth because everyone lies, but to me, and the media always shows the worst to get clicks. So like, I don't know how bad it really is. Like, how many hospitals are left, and is there any place, stores, and anything left there? Because when you see it on TV, everything looks bombed out. And so Trump goes on in front of Parliament, in front of the world, smiling like, look what I did. I'm so great. I'm the peacemaker. I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, after he just spent all the taxpayers' money in the United States, the ununited States, on blowing up an entire country and the people in it, most of the citizens in it, instead of, how many actual so-called army men and women did they get? So, um, honestly, if you look at the logically, Mr. Trump, and, common sense, you don't deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. You deserve the demonic, fucking God Almighty hates in prize for, well, why don't we call it the Adolf Hitler KKK prize? That would be good. That's what you deserve, isn't it? In other words, you just spent, and then you were so sick of getting bad reputation around the world as a fucking Adolf Hitler modern day, spending billions of dollars to blow up another country. In other words, think of this metaphor, Mr. Trump. What if someone spent billions of dollars to blow up 85% of America, and then they went on TV and said, hey, I want the Nobel Peace Prize because now, look, I'm ending the war. I'm not going to spend any more money of my country's money. I'm blowing up the United States. So look how happy and gleefully we all are. Yay! No more blowing up the United States. We only blew up 85%. But we ran out of money, and we're running out of money, and we're getting a bad reputation. So let's get a great reputation now and get the Nobel Peace Prize and end the war in the United States and stop blowing it up. Do you understand that metaphor, Mr. Trump? Do any of you God Almighty haters understand that metaphor? Megson Kelly! Megson Kelly, do you understand that? You love Mr. Trumpeter. Do you understand that metaphor? Megson Kelly! What about that other guy? Oh, there's so many of them. Candace Owens. Well, you hate Trump now, but you used to love him. But you must understand that. But if you understand that, you would love, the light, the love, the bright, in the one and only way, here in our modern day, with blatant, obvious, humanly impossible ways, and fillets. In all morals, nobody could quarrel. And so, I don't get it. I don't understand. So someday when the Black Ball West is over, then I'll find out. And so Mr. Trumpeter, Mr. Humpty Dumpty Trumpty Rumpty, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. What's the Black Ballless wall gonna fall? What's Humpty Dumpty gonna do then, Trumpty? What are you gonna say? And how come you never bring up Jesus? You just say God. Why don't you get to the point? In other words, you say you want everyone to pray to the Bible in every school around the ununited hates. What's more disgusting and despicable and deplorable and horrible and immoral than you pretending that God isn't down here putting those black bags under your eyes, that you despise those real-time benign cancers? Done.